Hello everybody. In this video I want to implement the Google authentication using your Google email to go through the app. It's actually a really cool way to implement the site. So without more to say, let's get started. Now, because I asked you to do the sign up section, let me actually do that for you guys. I will show you this, but don't worry if you already did it and you're not interested in seeing that. I will give you also when you can skip for the just to go directly to the Google section. So what I want to show you is I want to show you my approach. My approach will be really simple. It will pretty much I'm in the login view. I will select everything. Pretty much. Yeah, let's select everything. And I will create a new component. And that should be here. And let's call this new file form.view. Let me paste everything there. And in the login page, because we have the automatic let me just import this one, we can actually use just the form or release something like this, and we should be almost ready. Something will fail probably, I don't know. Let me check. Yeah, everything is there. Cool. Let me just go to see my component form. Let me verify that we're importing from the helpers. Actually, yes, this exists, so all the paths are working the way they're supposed to, and we are ready to go. So we extrapolate the form to here. So what I want to do is I want to handle the props. So we need to define props, import it, and I want to use the same form depending if it's going to be a login or it's going to be a sign up. So for define props, we'll use something here called the way that we use it is define props, I believe, and we use type. Actually type, let's call it form. The type will be string, and the default will be login. What I want to use now is we'll create a second button. This button will, let me save it. This button will be sign up, right? But the way that we are going to handle it is, so for this one, let's say if form if we can specify form equal to login. Perfect, and we can use the BLs here. There you go. So we define a prop, a simple prop called form, and the default value is going to be login. So whenever that prop is login, and whenever we call it, we have the login page there. But if we call here this to be form equal, let's type register or whatever else to be, you see that we actually changed the button, right? So by default, it will render like this. If now, if it has anything, in this case, it will render the sign up, right? So that's pretty neat. We have the login page. That means that we can actually have a second page. And then we go to the views. And we call this sign up. That view. And the sign-up view, we need to go to the router. Just copy this one. Sign up. Sign up. We call it like that, right? Sign up. Where is it? Here. Yes. And we need to import it because it doesn't exist yet. Here. So this one should be sign up. Yeah. I had a type on the name, that's why it is complaining. Sign up. Let me refresh. There you go. And in my sign up page, it's going to be pretty much the same as login, with the difference of form equals sign up. So we change this to sign up. Oops. Enter. We go into the sign up page. Perfect. Let's go to the navbar. And we have that one inside the components. Right here. And what I want to do, we are checking if the user is logged in, and if the user is not, we are rendering the login page. It is not authenticated. So let me actually grab this in a div. Let me send this is authenticated to here, right? And let's put this router link right inside. Okay, and let's duplicate this one to have sign up. Yeah, there you go. So by default, have the login page and the sign up page, right? Depending the case. And after we enter, let's put the fake account that we have here. Don't save. Yeah, the sign up page to get out. When I log in, the sign up is there. So this is pretty much the way that I will use it. And just to finish, we need to wrap it up in the form view page. We have the process sign. Let's create a sign up. And for that one, it's going to be really simple. We're going to import sign up from our authentication because it's already there. So the only things that we need to do pretty much, copy paste this one, sign up. Wait. And let's call it like this. Yes. Let's actually call it a little bit different. Register. Just to have like a different name there. So we have the login and we have the register that's going to wait, sorry, to the sign up that came from the authentication piece. Pretty much it. So let me try to log in with whatever something.com, ABC. It doesn't work. We go to the console, we can actually see that error. Right, that is not there. We have as request. Perfect. So let me copy this account, sign up. If I go to whatever, ABC, welcome, whatever something.com. So I just sign up to the application. If I go to see my Firefox console, I can open it right here. And to go to the login example, Authentication piece. Now I have two different users. Print it. So we're able to apply the sign up really quick. Okay. So now is the moment, and I need to sit here around 10 minutes. Now is the moment to implement the Google authentication. So right now we just created accounts when you have a something account, but when you have a Google account or Gmail account or something that uses Google Apps, right? We should be able. Sometimes it's good to have that as an authentication method. We saw that in other places when you can actually log in with Facebook, for example, Budget Cup, etc. So the way to implement it is really simple. We go to sign in method in our Firebase console, and we just enable the Google one. So for email, you know, just select yours, save, and with that, we just enable Google authentication. As simple as that. So let me log out. Let me go to the login page and let me create that sign in with Google. So let me go to the form. Well, before we go in that, I already have my Google icon here, so I just import it. And let me go to the form. Let me copy this button. Let's put it at the end, right below the if statement. And it's going to be Google. And let's call red. Doesn't exist. So background red 500. I don't know, something like that. Text white. Yeah, no. Oh, we're using Daisy. Forget about that. Probably we can use VPN error. Yeah, actually, it does it a little bit. So let's keep it like that. Here, what I will need to do, I just need to import. No import image. My script is going to be my assets folder. So I need to go back one level, select assets, select my Google, go to Google logo. Really big. We need to handle the sizing, so let's do the classes. And let's do width 2, probably too short, with 8. There you go. Maybe. And let's do margin right of 4. Yeah, that could work. Or actually, let's remove the margin right and let's remove the word Google. And let's change this one to button success. No. Button error is no. Accent. Primary. And it's not the institutional color. Let me see if I go and look for the Daisy UI. I probably didn't put it the way that it's supposed to. Let me check my following configuration. It's actually, yeah. Let's see. Daisy. Oh yeah, I have a typo there. Cool. Let's see the components. Get starter. Yeah, how to use. Yeah, let's apply those. We have the configuration there. Customize component, default themes. Add themes, I don't need that. Colors. Warnings of success. Okay, there you go. We have primary, focus, primary content, base content. Actually, probably we can use button. Oops, sorry for that. Go to the form, and for this one, primary dash content. There you go. A lot better. So we can have that one to be there, and this is going to be the Google sign up. Perfect. And it doesn't matter if we're doing the sign up or the login, we're maintaining that one to be always there. Cool. In order to use it, remember we can go here and we can see Google sign in, and we need to import the provider, right, and apply that provider to here. So the provider will be this one from this command. So let's actually open the use authentication. So from out it should be const from out. So we need to export some. We need to get something from the authentication method. This is the authentication firebase, the one that we have right here. So we need to get the Google provider. So let's do Google authorization provider. There you go. We get that one, and we can create actually let's put it on here. Export and let's call it Google. So let's simplify it. Equal, and it's going to be, we don't need to send anything, I believe. Oh yeah, we need to send the provider, right? And I'm signing with pop-up and then the provider. Cool. So we need to do this one, and we do authentication, sign it with pop-up, and we need to send the method inside, and the method is going to be our Google authentication provider. And that's it. Yeah, I believe with this should be enough. So in this case, let's go back to form. Sorry, yes, here to form. Let's copy over the register. Let's select this one to be Google out. Actually, no, I have an issue with the names here. So let's keep this one as a Google, but in the authorization pop-up, let's change this to Google pop-up. And we're exporting that means that here we need to import it, sign up, and Google pop-up. That means that the Google, we need to wait, and we need to do the cool thing is we don't need to send anything. We just wait to Google pop-up, and after it works, we just send it to the push. Okay, in theory it should be working. That means if I authenticate with this or not, I've clicked Google, because Google tried this one. Didn't like it. Let's see what happened. Console. Will be a valid authentication provider. Oh, it's a function. Auto provide. So this one should be this. Okay, let's try it. Let me click it. Okay, we have a really big error now. Didn't like it. Is it there? No, it's not. Let's go to the view use Firebase. The use out. And remove with it. Sign in. Sign in with pop-up. Oh, it's a new Google provider. Yeah, that's the issue. New. So that's what I was missing here in the code. Let's try again. Okay, you cannot see it, but let me put it on the screen. Go to my other one. So this came up. I will select my personal email. I just was selecting, send me, and I have my personal email right here. So with that, we're able to actually authenticate through Google. The cool thing about that is you do the sign up or the sign in directly without any issue. So if we go back to our console, we can see that my Gmail account and my provider, that is Google, is already here. So with those simple steps, well, we mess up a little bit right here and there, but we were able to have that. And we were able to reutilize the form. Yeah, I like that part. And have a new page in order to have the sign up through Google. Other than that, I believe we almost there. Something that we can use is instead of getting the email, let's actually bring up the name, and I want to show you something. Yeah, let's do that. So let me go to, and that's going to be on the home view. So I know there is something called display name. Welcome, Rodolfo Roman. This is my display name. From just because I came from the Google authentication. But if I log in with a fake account, for example, this is still a new user because display name doesn't exist for those particular when you have those users there. So let's actually fix that. How can we fix it? It's going to be really simple. We can go right here. Oops. Let's close this one. Let's look for Firebase manage users. And when you have the current sign-in user, you can actually implement and change or update a specific profile. And we can actually just forget to use a profile, but to update the user profile, we can use something like this. So we get the instance of the current user, and for that current user, provide data, we can actually change the name, the profile display name, with this little function from here. So update user profile, we get the user, update profile, and we can change the display name to the mode that I want to use it. So let's actually implement this in our form. If we want to implement this in our form, that means that when we go to the sign up, we should have like a name endpoint here. Let's create it. Before we create it, let's go to our use authentication. When we created the username and password, Oh, it's not here, sorry. Yes, it's in the form directly. We created. Where is it? Here, email password. Let's create another one called name, right? And we're going to put as the first element, and let's copy over all this, and let's change this one for name, ID name, type text, everything to be the same, be model name. Perfect. We have something that is not working here. We have margin top of 3, but probably we need to do it to this guy. There you go, we have a separation. And this one, let's actually wrap it in a, let's see it doesn't affect it, to put it like here. Yeah, it does. Let's put another be if. Let's call form just when this one is register. How do we call it? Actually, when we put it a sign up. Yes, when the form is actually a sign up, we need to show that one. Perfect. Probably we can use this one right here too. That means that in login, name is not there, and in sign up, it is. Perfect. And actually, we should be doing some validation, but we can do that in another video. But let's keep it like this for now. And what I want to do when I do the sign up method, I believe we can actually import the user. We have the user somehow already. So when we do the register, we sign up the user. Perfect. And then we use the user dot let's actually handle the user more locally. Instead of having the global user, this object came out with a user specific. So let's remove this one from here, and we can do something like const user equal that. So after we sign up the user, we use user dot object profile, I believe it's called it. And we're going to change the display name to name.value, and we're going to wait. Yeah. That should be enough. Let's try it. What I want to do here in notification, I will remove my fake one. Yeah, I will remove the whatever tone. I don't need those. So I can actually try them. If I try to go to the fake and I put the password there, it's not working. I probably should have some kind of feedback here. We can see that later too. So if I try to log in, yeah, authorization not found. There is no user record corresponding. Cool. So that means that we can do a sign up, and we do Rodolfo, let's do Rodolfo at fake.com and let's put the password there. Let's sign up. Don't save. User update profile is not a function, so it didn't work the way that I was thinking it should work. So let's use user.value. Actually, let's actually bring the user. Let's see if that actually works, because we're supposed to have the user already in an authorization part. Let me see here. Let me just refresh those. Let me delete it again. So let me create it, Rodolfo. Fake. I put the password there. Sign up. Update profile is not a function. Let's see what is actually happening. This is what we're doing. Let's export this one. I'm trying to find out how to do it. The idea here is that we should have from the use out section, we should have the user. But probably it is a little bit different. So let's create another one. And let's call this current user. Export const current user. It is going to be the directly Firebase endpoint. Let's save it. Go to the form. We import the current user. And then we just do, after the sign up, await current user. Let's see if that actually works. Let me delete it again. That one. The password. Don't save. Type error can access profile of the profile of no. Why? We did a sign up. Let's actually export the authentication. And probably we can use this one right here. So we just do simple const user equal authentication current user, and then we do update the profile with the display name value. If I'm doing this right, yeah, it's an object with display name. That should be it. That's it. Okay. Actually, let me verify this. Yeah. Authorization is not defined. Oh, yeah, it's not defined because I didn't import it. one more time. I've been here also when we have issues like this one, the one that we're seeing on the video. I should be pretty much editing those to put it outside the video. I don't like to do that much because I would like to actually to show you my process of troubleshooting. Right now what you're looking at is how to solve an issue, how I put a console, verify that everything is right, checking documentation, things like that, right? That's pretty much what I do. Oh, perfect. Welcome, Brotherful. There you go. It works. That means that we're able now to put a name over there. Pretty cool. Do we have time to continue? Probably we do, yes. What I want to do, as you can see here now is working. So I'm exporting pretty much the authentication issue, the authorization completely. And I give me the current user, and that current user just update the profile to give the display name that I'm giving it in the form. So let me log out, let me log in now directly. And we can see that welcome Rodolfo. So it's working the way they're supposed to. Create a name. So now that we have everything there, there's a couple of things that we need to handle. Yeah, let's do it in another video. Yeah, it's been too much. So there's two things that we're missing in our app in this. That is pretty much validation. We will see that in the next video. And I want to have some kind of pop-up when something goes wrong that you don't have an account. I just want to put it there. Alright, and show you some kind of like a authentication fail or whatever, right? Something like that. Those should be not that difficult to implement. But for now, I believe it should be enough. So I hope that you like it. Any question, any doubt, don't hesitate to reach me. What we did is we did two different things. Is implement the sign up section and the Google authentication. Also through the sign up, we implemented how to update a profile, so we can actually put it like a display name in there to be available. Those are all the things that we can actually use, and like getting the avatar, that's actually pretty neat. But I don't know if I'm going to use it for this video or not. But for now, I believe that's everything. I hope that you like it. Any question, any doubt, don't hesitate to reach me. Happy coding, everybody.